right, let's go ahead and take a look at one last problem here. Now this one talks about a work problem. When we're talking about work problem, is basically we are saying how long does it take for somebody to do a certain task, to work on a certain task. Now remember, the rate of work, that is basically how fast you're working at a certain job, is basically if a job can be completed in T units of time, and T could be anything, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 minutes, doesn't matter. If it takes you T units of time to complete a job, then the rate of work is 1 over T job per unit of time. Okay, so 1 over T job per unit of time will be your rate of work for completing whatever job that you were working on. So let's see how we can work with that. We are looking at this example here. Working alone, Jorge can paint a room in 8 hours. Katerina can paint the same room working alone in 6 hours. So you can see it takes Katerina less time than Jorge to paint the room. Now we need to know how long will it take them if they were to work together. Okay? We know how much time each one of them take to work on the room. We want to see what happens if they work together. It's going to take them less time. So let's say T represents the time that they work together. Okay, so let T be the time it will take them to work together. Now we know that let's see, we have Jorge and we have Katerina. Jorge takes 8 hours and Katerina takes only 6 hours. So if you talk about their rate of time, it would be 1 over 8 and 1 over 6 hours for each one of these people. We will go ahead and use this rate of work information to help us out here. And you will end up with, for Jorge and Katerina, the rate of time, how much time it takes them to work together, and their work. So rate for Jorge would be 1 over 8. For Katerina, it would be 1 over 6. Okay, that would be the rate of time. We know working together, it will be, T hours. And to find how much work they complete in, given their rate for each, you will go ahead and multiply these, and you will end up with 1/8 T and 1/6 T. Okay? Now I want you to pay attention how this works. We looked at their rate. It takes them 8 hours and 6 hours respectively. So the rate of work for Jorge will be 1/8. Rate of work for Katerina will be 1/6. Okay? If they are working together, it's going to take them T hours. So we need to know how much work, for Jorge would be 1/8 times T, his rate times the time it takes him, 1/6 times the time it takes her working together to paint this room. Now, once you have these values here, to find how long it's going to take them to work together, you add the work for each one of these people, okay? And together, how long will it take them to paint one room? Okay, that's how you set up this problem. It's a little different than what we normally see. Now, if you go ahead and solve this problem, you will come up with the solution for your answer, for your problem here. So let's go ahead and talk about our least common denominator. Our LCD will be what's common between 8 and 6. Let's see, 24. 24 will go into 8 3 times, and 24 will go into 6 4 times. So we will go ahead and multiply our whole equation by our LCD. And once you solve this, you should end up with, let's see, you will end up with 3T okay. If you multiply 24 into 1/8, 24 into 1/6, and then 24 into 1, you will end up with this. go ahead and combine your like terms. You will end up with 7t equals 24. Divide both sides by 7. And you will end up with t equals 24 over 7. Or in mixed numbers, you would say t equals 3/7 hours. So basically, it takes them a little over 3 hours to paint the room together. Okay, so together they paint the room in 3/7 hour. Okay, and there you have it. That will be the end of section 6.7 and basically the end of chapter 6.